If I could sit down with my younger self and share just a handful of lessons that would change everything, these are the ones I'd choose. Lessons that could have saved me years of struggle, frustration, and wasted time. Lessons that, if understood early, make life easier, clearer, and more fulfilling. Because here's the hard truth: most people never figure these things out. They go through life on autopilot, repeating the same mistakes, stuck in cycles of regret, watching the years slip by. But you don't have to. This video is your shortcut. The biggest lessons I've learned over nearly 4 decades. Things that shaped me, things that challenged me, things that, when I finally understood them, changed my life completely. And if you stick with me until the end, I've got something for you: a free productivity course and template pack, a complete system to help you apply these lessons in your own life. No fluff, no gimmicks, just a real framework you can start using today. But before you grab that, you need to hear these lessons first, because without them, no system or tool will make a difference. So let's dive in. Lesson 1: the biggest trap people fall into. Have you ever woken up, looked around, and thought, is this really my life? Not because things are terrible, but because something feels off. Like you're following a script you didn't even write. For years, I did exactly that. I picked a career I didn't love because it sounded impressive. I said yes to things I didn't want because I didn't want to disappoint people. I ignored my gut instincts because I was too scared to trust myself. And then one day it hit me. I was living someone else's version of success, and I wasn't alone. Most people are. We chase things we were told would make us happy: the good job, the perfect relationship, the safe choices. And then when we finally get them, we feel nothing. And here's the scariest part: some people never wake up from this. They stay stuck their whole lives. So here's the first hard truth: if you feel like you're just going through the motions, that feeling isn't going away on its own. You have to wake yourself up. Right now, pause for a second. Ask yourself, am I excited about where my life is going? If I keep living like this for the next 5 years, will I be happy? If nothing changes, will I regret it? If those questions hit you hard, good, because self-awareness is the first step. The next step: taking back control. Start by questioning everything: the job you have, the habits you've formed, the people you spend time with. Are they all leading you where you actually want to go? If not, it's time to rewrite your script. Change doesn't happen overnight, but small shifts in the right direction will eventually change your life completely. Lesson 2: the hidden cost of avoiding failure. If I could go back and give my younger self one piece of advice, it would be this: stop trying to avoid failure. Start collecting failures like data points, because failure isn't the opposite of success. It's the price of entry. Let me tell you a story. There was a time when I had an idea that I knew could change my life. I mapped out everything. I researched every angle. I convinced myself I'd start when I was ready. But I never started. Why? Because I was scared. Scared of failing. Scared of looking stupid. Scared that it wouldn't work. And guess what? I ended up failing anyway, because I never even tried. That's when I realized something huge. Every setback is data. It's feedback. It's telling you what doesn't work so you can figure out what does. The most successful people in the world, athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, fail constantly. They just move through failure faster than the rest of us. So ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen if you fail? What's the best that can happen if you succeed? Will you regret never trying? Because the only real failure is staying the same. Instead of fearing failure, start expecting it, because every failure brings you closer to a breakthrough. Take action despite fear. knowing that mistakes are part of the process. Lesson 3. You're running out of time. Here's something that took me nearly 39 years to understand. You're running out of time. Not in a panic inducing way, but in a wake up and live your own dream life kind of way. We always think we have more time. We think we can start later. We tell ourselves, I'll do it next month. Next year will be my year. I'll focus on my goals when life slows down. And then a decade goes by. How much time have you already wasted? Be honest. This is why I started using the 48-hour rule. If I get an idea, I take one action toward it within 48 hours. It doesn't have to be huge. It could be sending an email, making a phone call, writing a rough draft. But I take action immediately because action builds momentum. Waiting kills dreams. There's never a perfect time. If you keep waiting for the right moment, you'll wake up years from now in the same place. The only way to create change is to act now, even if it's imperfect. Lesson 4. The power of habits. How small actions change. Everything. Your life isn't shaped by the big decisions you make once in a while. It's shaped by the small decisions you make every single day. If you want to know where your life is headed, look at your habits, the things you do on autopilot. Because those daily actions, they compound over time. Eat fast food every day, your health declines. Scroll on your phone instead of working on your goals, your progress stalls. Hit snooze every morning, you train yourself to procrastinate. But the opposite is also true. Exercise daily, your body transforms. Read and learn daily, your mind expands. Take small steps toward a goal every day, you eventually achieve it. The secret? You don't need massive motivation. You just need to build the right habits. A great way to start is habit stacking, attaching a new habit to something you already do. For example, want to start reading? Read for 10 minutes after your morning coffee. Want to exercise? Do 10 push-ups before you shower. Want to journal? Write down one thing you learned before bed. Small habits repeated daily turn into massive success over time. Lesson 5. Stop chasing happiness. The truth about fulfillment. Most people think happiness is the goal, but happiness is just an emotion. It comes and goes. What really matters is fulfillment. Happiness happens when something good happens. Fulfillment happens when you build a life that aligns with your values, your purpose, and your long-term vision. The truth is, people who chase happiness often end up feeling empty. They look for quick fixes, more money, more things, more validation. But real fulfillment comes from doing meaningful work that aligns with your strengths, building deep relationships that add value to your life, pushing yourself to grow instead of staying comfortable. Instead of asking, what will make me happy? Ask, what will make my life meaningful? Because fulfillment isn't about feeling good all the time. It's about knowing that even when things are tough, you're on the right path. The key is contribution. The happiest and most fulfilled people aren't the ones chasing pleasure. They're the ones giving back, creating something valuable and helping others. So stop chasing happiness. Start chasing purpose. Lesson 6. Mastering your mindset. The mental models that shift everything. Your mindset is the foundation for everything in your life. If you have a weak mindset, nothing else matters. Your strategies, skills, or even luck won't be enough. But if you build the right mental frameworks, you can solve almost any problem, achieve your biggest goals, and completely transform your life. The way you see the world determines what's possible for you. Most people operate with a limited mindset, thinking in scarcity, fear, and doubt. But successful people see the world differently. Instead of, I can't do this, they ask, how can I make this work? Instead of, this is too hard, they say, this is a challenge that will make me stronger. Instead of, I'll do it later, they ask, what can I do right now? Mindset isn't just about thinking positively, it's about thinking effectively. Here are the three most powerful mental models that changed my life. 1. Growth versus fixed mindset. People with a fixed mindset believe their abilities are set in stone. They say things like, I'm just not good at this, or I'll never be successful. But people with a growth mindset know that intelligence, skills, and abilities can all be developed with effort. Instead of saying, I can't, they say, I can learn. 2. Extreme ownership. Everything in your life, your successes and failures, is ultimately your responsibility. It's easy to blame circumstances, other people, or bad luck, but none of that will change your life. The moment you take 100% responsibility for everything, you regain control. Instead of saying, why did this happen to me? Ask, what can I do to change this? 3. The 1% rule. Most people think success comes from huge dramatic changes, but in reality, it comes from getting just 1% better every day. Small improvements compounded over time lead to massive transformation. If you improve by just 1% every day, you'll be 37 times better a year from now. If you shift your mindset, everything else changes. It's not about external circumstances, it's about how you think and respond to them. The people who succeed in life aren't the ones with the fewest problems. They're the ones with the strongest mindset to handle them. Lesson 7. The number one skill you need to succeed in life. If I could give just one skill to everyone in the world, one ability that would completely transform their lives, it would be learning how to communicate effectively. Your ability to communicate, how you speak, how you write, how you connect with people, impacts every single area of your life. Think about it. Want a better job? You need to sell yourself in interviews and communicate your value. Want stronger relationships? You need to express your emotions, needs, and thoughts clearly. Want to start a business? You need to convince people to buy into your vision. Most people don't take communication seriously. They think, I already know how to talk. But talking isn't the same as communicating. Truly great communicators do three things differently. 1. They listen more than they speak. The best communicators don't just wait for their turn to talk, they genuinely listen. They ask questions, they make people feel understood, and they respond thoughtfully instead of just reacting emotionally. They simplify their message. Have you ever heard someone explain something so clearly that it just clicked? That's because great communicators make things simple. They eliminate fluff, avoid jargon, and focus on clarity. They adapt to their audience. You wouldn't talk to a child the same way you talk to your boss. Great communicators read the room, adjust their tone, and tailor their message to fit the person they're speaking to. Here's how you can improve your communication starting today. Practice active listening. Next time you're in a conversation, focus entirely on the other person. Repeat back what they say in your own words. You'll be amazed at how much deeper your conversations become. Get to the point faster. Challenge yourself to express your thoughts in as few words as possible. If you tend to ramble, practice summarizing what you want to say in one sentence before speaking. Read books on communication. Some of the best books on this topic include How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie and Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. Your ability to communicate will determine how much success you achieve in life. Whether you're persuading, leading, teaching, or just trying to connect, mastering communication is the ultimate superpower. Lesson 8. Why most people never build wealth and how to fix it. Money is one of the biggest stressors in people's lives. Yet, most people never learn how to properly build wealth. Schools don't teach it. Many parents don't know how to pass it down. And society conditions people to believe in a broken system. Work hard, save money, and hope for the best. But here's the truth. Wealth isn't about how much money you make. It's about how much money you keep and how effectively you make it grow. Most people never build wealth because they fall into these three financial traps. One, they only trade time for money. If your only source of income is your paycheck, you're trapped. You can't scale your earnings if you're limited by how many hours you work. Wealthy people create systems, investments, businesses, passive income streams that generate money even when they're not working. They spend everything they earn. Lifestyle inflation is real. The moment most people get a raise, they upgrade their car, their home, their clothes, never actually saving or investing for the future. The secret? Live below your means and invest the difference. If you keep increasing your expenses every time your income increases, you'll always be one step away from financial stress. They don't make their money work for them. Wealthy people don't just save, they invest. They put money into assets that grow over time, like stocks, real estate, and businesses. If you're only saving, you're actually losing money due to inflation. Instead, put your money into something that has the potential to grow exponentially. Here's how to start building wealth today. Step 1. Start investing early. The earlier you start, the more time your money has to grow. Even small investments today can become massive in the future due to compound interest. If you don't know where to start, index funds are a great beginner-friendly option. They give you exposure to the entire stock market with minimal effort. Step 2. Build multiple streams of income. Look beyond just your paycheck. Start a side hustle, invest in rental properties, create digital products. Anything that can bring in extra income without requiring your constant effort. Step 3. Learn financial literacy. Read books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, and The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco. The more you understand money, the better decisions you'll make with it. Step 4. Avoid debt that doesn't serve you. There's good debt, investments, real estate, business loans, and bad debt, credit cards, car loans, things that depreciate in value. Before taking on any debt, ask yourself, will this make me money or cost me money in the long run? Step 5. Create an automated financial system. Set up automatic transfers for saving, investing, and bills. The less you have to think about it, the more likely you are to stay consistent. Most people stay broke because they don't take control of their money. They let money control them. If you want financial freedom, you have to be intentional about how you earn, save, and invest. Building wealth isn't about luck. It's about having the right strategy and taking action consistently over time. You don't have to be a genius to build wealth. You just have to follow the right principles and stay consistent. We've covered a lot in this video, lessons that took me nearly 4 decades to fully understand. But knowledge alone isn't enough. You have to take action. Here's what I want you to do right now. Step 1. Grab your free productivity course and templates. Click the link in the description and get access to my complete system for building productive habits, managing your time, and staying focused. It's free and it will help you implement everything we've talked about today. Step 2. Join our community. The best way to stay consistent is to surround yourself with like-minded people. Inside our community, you'll find accountability, support, and practical tips to help you stay on track. Don't try to do this alone. Join us and start making real progress. Step 3. Take one small action today. It doesn't have to be big, just one step in the right direction. Whether it's setting up an investment account, building a new habit, or working on your mindset, do something today that your future self will thank you for. Success isn't about knowing what to do. It's about actually doing it. And now you have the roadmap. Stop waiting. Start doing. Grab your free resources, join our community, and take action now.